guys, this is the Prince Mastodon, and I'm doing a commentary video for Medieval 2 Total War multiplayer. This is a Portugal versus Spain battle. I'm in command of the Portuguese, and my classmate is in command of the Spanish army. Let's go look at my Portuguese army first. I have 2 units of artillery pieces. They are the Basilisk, and this is one of the few times you'll see me using artillery in my battles. Then they are backed by 4 units of Portuguese arquebus, and those are gunners, very primitive. Then they are backed by 8 units of dismounted conquistadors, and my cavalry consists of 3 units of mounted conquistadors and 3 squadrons of Knights of Santiago. Let's go look at my classmate's army now, the Spanish army. He has 3 units of tercio pikemen, and they are backed by 11 units of dismounted conquistadors and 6 squadrons of mounted conquistadors. And already my opponent is under heavy gunfire. And I picked this kind of setup because I was hoping to shock my classmate into submission and demoralize him. Unfortunately, that's not the case. My opponent knows better. He's going to charge forward and rush my gun units because my arquebus have very poor reload time, same with my cannons. So he's going to come forward here and just give my guys the business here. But instead of running my dudes away, I'm just going to let them hold their ground. And unfortunately, on my left flank, my cannons had no protection, so my classmate had no trouble, and he just smashed right into my artillery pieces. So I had cavalry there, but I retreated them when I saw that big rush of Spanish combined arms approach with his cavalry and his infantry there. So he completely destroyed my left flank just like that. Down the center, this is where I hope to win, because that's where I see his tercio pikemen. So I'm going to match his tercio pikemen with my dismounted conquistadors. I figure in a sword fight, my guys can take out his pikes. Over on my right flank, I am bringing out my cavalry to take on his cavalry. But now my opponent is bringing the rest of his cavalry towards my right flank, and I'm a little bit outnumbered on this side here. So I'm going to play a little bit more conservatively with my cavalry. But down the center, this is where I hope to win. Hopefully I can knock out his tercio pikemen and use my extra units to take on the rest of his dismounted conquistadors. That was my plan anyways, but as you guys know, in warfare and video games, things don't always go according to plan. Alright, so here's my cavalry versus his cavalry. So it's looking kind of messy right here. This was the action on the left flank. As I was trying to go around his left flank, his horses followed me, so it's kind of spilling over into the center. Over on my left flank, I'm getting completely destroyed here. I don't really have an answer to that attack he made. So I'm just gonna skirt around his dudes, and I'm gonna take my cavalry here. I'm going to launch hammer and anvil strikes on his center here. And this is where I hope to gain the edge. And those are my mounted conquistadors. I'm crashing into the backs of his dismounted conquistadors. And this is kind of confusing. You need to look at the banners, because we're using very similar troops right now.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Alright, so half of his guys are gone, but very soon half of my guys will be gone too. You're going to hear the narrator announce it. And here I'm launching more hammer and anvil strikes. But my classmate is chasing my cavalry away. He does not want to let me hammer and anvil strike his troops. So he's playing very wisely with his cavalry, using his cavalry to ward off my cavalry. But every so often, I'm going to get these strikes on the backs of his infantry. It's very hard to catch cavalry, even though you get the same speed, because they're very slippery in Medieval 2. For example, like in Rome Total War, if you surrounded cavalry with cavalry, the other guy could not escape. But in Medieval 2 Total War, if you surrounded your opponent's cavalry with your cavalry, he can slip out if he wanted to just by clicking out of there. So it's kind of weird. And here's the center right here. Here he finally caught up to one of my cavalry units, so I couldn't hammer and anvil strike them anymore. But I still have one more cavalry squadron launching strikes. But my opponent's doing a very good job of chasing my cavalry down. So look at this mayhem. There's his cavalry. he has caught up to my cavalry. So this is a very, very grinding battle here. Grinding battle here. Our armies are very equal. Unfortunately, I lost a lot of my troops at the beginning because I was using a lot of gunpowder units, and my classmate, he dealt with them very wisely by charging into them. Alright, this is the action on the right flank here. His cavalry has looks like there's a few more of them compared to mine. But I'm rushing in some infantry to assist my cavalry on my right flank. And there my opponent is using his cavalry to support his infantry in the center right there. And by the way, in case you're wondering, my guys carry the white and blue banners, and his guys carry the yellow and red banners. That might help you distinguish between the two opposing armies here. And this is action on the right flank. This is one of the crucial flanks here. All right, and down the center, I have succeeded for the most part. Like his infantry is getting depleted there, but on both flanks, it's very up in the air. And here, that's a concentration of his Spanish troops. And on the very far left here, you can see what's going on. It's very up in the air, as I said, on both flanks. And you already heard the announcer. He said that both of our armies are halfway at strength right now. And at this point, we're very depleted in our troop numbers. So there's our guys bashing at each other. Both of them are dismounted conquistadors now. Those are my guys. I forgot all about them. I guess you can call those dudes my strategic reserves. And there's my cannons. They are not firing at all anymore. I don't want them hitting my own guys. Because at this point, hitting my own guys would be very destructive to my war effort. Anyways, my classmate, he actually enjoys the medieval period a lot, and he knows that I hate this time period. I'm definitely more into the ancient time period, but we like to play each other anyways. We used to play close combat with each other. Very fun game made by Microsoft. But this is our latest game to play against each other, Medieval 2. Alright, here I won on the right flank. So I took my cavalry and I bashed into his center infantry units now. So as I said, the battle on the right flank was very crucial. Just because I was able to win that flank, I can use my free cavalry units to launch hammer and amble strikes. That's his general. My infantry took him down. But as you can see, even though I won the right flank, it's still up in the air. Because on the left flank, it's still 50-50. So the issue is not quite settled yet, even though I won the right flank. At this point, we both still have the same amount of troops. Alright, here's my cavalry. I'm bashing in his infantry. And there's my classmate's cavalry. There's only 2 horsemen in that squadron. But he's going to smash right into my dismounted conquistadors. And it looks like he took one of them out. And I'm going to countercharge with my cavalry. And those are my conquistadors, I believe. No, actually those are my Knights of Santiago. You can tell by their shields. Alright, but look at this battlefield and the flags. It's like all the flags are about equal. Like I have a lot of blue and white flags and he has a lot of yellow and red flags. Alright, this is the final part of the battle. We are all going to converge in the center here. I'm going to crash into his troops. That's his infantry. I'm going to crash into them. But look in the background, he has 1 unit right there. It's only 1 guy in that unit. He's going to crash into my horses. So I'm going to try to bring him down with my mounted units. and this is the very last part of the battle. This is all that we have left. I have one cannon unit in the background, but he has not played any part of the battle. So I narrowly won that battle, very close. And I'll let you read the results.